Good afternoon, beautiful people. Today, I want to talk about relationships. It's something that everyone is struggling with in some way, shape, or form, maintaining relationships with people. But this one is for the couples, new couples, old couples, getting old couples, not really new couples. Everyone needs to understand something about being in a relationship. If you both aren't healed, it's going to be hard. The hardest, actually. If one of you is healed and the other isn't, it'll be either nearly impossible or very difficult because everyone has to want to heal on their own. And sometimes it's not easy because you may go back into your old ways, and that's hard. Or you're both healed and maybe you have some issues that you've never experienced before and you need a little light on it. I think that's what this is for. Because they all go through the same or similar problems. They may eventually surface. One may be portraying, both may be portraying. You never know. So let's get right into it. A relationship is between two different people who have two different backgrounds and two different perspectives, which means no matter what, you have to get along. You have to find a way to get along because two people with tension, two people turning combative, passive aggressive, just deteriorating. It's not good either. You have to want it for that person, for yourself, for the ones around you. You have to want it. It can't just be, it is what it is. And if it is, you need to leave. You need to be done because it's never going to work if two people don't come together to agree and get along. And that agree can be to agree to disagree, but it can't lead into anything toxic, anything big, because it'll fail just that fast. It's hard when you've experienced life, when they've experienced life, and that life affects you guys in different ways. Some for the better, some for the worse. It's life. Who knows what the next person has gone through? But it's up to you two people to decide that you're not going to let what I've did to you before affect what's going to do for you in the future. And you have to mean it because you could fake it till you make it all you want, but for some, it could just stay there. And you don't want it to just stay there because then you'll drive away someone who is only here to help. So It's time to stop and look at what you're doing. Stop, look at what they're doing, and assess what is really going on. And actually say what's really going on. Men and women, say what's really going on. Try to use a calmer tone, but understand that even if someone is using aggression, that doesn't mean that aggression is towards you. Pay attention to body language. If they're coming towards you, coming at you, then yeah, that's when you get afraid. But if they're just yelling, throwing their hands to themselves, let them get it out. Because maybe that person has held in this aggression for so long and it's coming out how it comes out. You either decide whether you want to deal with that, you can deal with that, or not, and move on from it. And know that it's not going to work. And be strong enough to know that it's not going to work. If you know yourself that that's not something that you could tolerate. That's also the problem. We're dealing with all of the things that are deal breakers for us. And that's changing who we are. Because after so long of putting up with things that you know you can't deal with, you know affect you too well, the communication is not there, you can't tell that person that, you're harboring up those feelings and emotions, and you're getting resentful, which causes a whole nother set of negative emotions. So just walk away from it. And maybe after some work, you guys can come back together. Maybe, who knows? But if not, know that you did what you needed to do in that relationship, and the next one can be as fruitful as it. And move on. Because life is too short to be angry all of the time. You shouldn't be so unhappy with yourself and your spouse to the point where you're losing you. You shouldn't do it. It's not fair to yourself. Learn how to say no to people and to yourself. Learn how to say yes to people and yourself. A relationship is about two constantly working, constantly. You don't want one carrying the dead weight of the other, because that's another problem. Staying stagnant while your partner is the only one that's fighting. Staying stagnant, not saying that you need help where you need the help. It's hurting the both of you. If you can't effectively communicate, hey, I need this from you. Hey, what do you need from me? Because life is hard. So if you want to be with someone, but you're not willing to be what they need from you wholeheartedly as well, leave. It's a whole lot of give and take. It's 7,000, 77, just like the Bible says. However many, that's what it is. Whenever that person needs you, you have to be there for them. And some people aren't ready for that. Some people aren't ready to take on the responsibilities of others. Some people aren't ready to take on the teaching role because we are each other's teachers. That may be a lot for some. And it's okay. Leave until you're ready. It's okay to leave. Yes, if you want that 60-year relationship, you'll work for it. But you have to be 100% you first so you don't damage yourself or that other person. Oftentimes, people jump from relationship to relationship and they don't heal. They're holding on hurt from 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10, 20 relationships ago, depending on who they are, because some people are like that. Some people can't be alone. So if a person doesn't see them fit and they step away from them, or they get scared from someone's actions and they step away, whatever the case is, that's their business. That's their hurt. That's how they've dealt with it. The key word is dealt. You have to get to a point of learning how to deal with your pain, deal with the hurt, deal with the fact that, okay, maybe I have to work on myself, deal with the fact that, okay, maybe those people need to work on them. You never know who it is unless you are ready to do the work. So you can't judge. You can't get upset. You can't build resentment on someone for being who they are from what they know. You just have to say, maybe this is not the job for me. Maybe it's a bit too much. Because maybe it is a bit too much for you. You've never dealt with something like this before. You don't know if you can do it. You really want to hold on to it, but you don't know if you can do it. If there's that much doubt, then you need to leave. Because that's too much time spent away from you, your dreams, your goals, your ambition, your life. If you spend all of your time worrying about what to do, the what ifs, the why nots, you're spending too much empty calories. That's too many empty calories for your brain to be focused on something negative that's taking away instead of building with things that can add to reading, stretching, exercising, eating well, drinking more water, using food as medicine. You can literally create a better you. You can get more income, you can get more organized, you can pick up a habit, passive income, new ideas, love your kids more, do more with your kids, teach them more, spend more time with family and friends instead of worrying why something isn't working that's not supposed to work. Because a relationship is supposed to be two people building, creating, loving. And no, you're not always gonna like your partner. That's where the 60 years come in. But you also shouldn't feel suffocated and miserable. You shouldn't feel so burdened in a relationship. It's not normal. You can still love people from a distance. But sometimes if you know that it's not working, you gotta let it go. And that's the sad part about relationships, is that you build something with someone, and one day it could be gone. But what you can do, what you should do, is build on all of the positive memories that you guys had, the positive experiences. Because some people go those whole 60, 70 years miserable. You really want that? They get to that 60, 70 years and they're still miserable, still mad, still upset, still holding on to this and that. You don't want that for yourself. You want to say, huh, guess what I experienced? And with somebody I loved and cared for, what more could you ask for? To have beautiful experiences with people that you really love and care for. That's what life is about. Experience. Living your life and having experiences. Good and bad. Because the bad also shape your character. Depending on you. Depending on your choices. The bad experiences could shape better character. It can give you a different perspective on life and people, yourself. We're all trying to figure it out. Who we truly are after the pain, trauma, hurt, after the letdowns, the disappointments. That's what we're doing. Trying to figure out who we are. Whether you are 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80, and beyond. We are all trying to figure out life and these experiences. And that's why you're supposed to be kind and move in love and move in happiness. So if you're not experiencing that for your sake and the sake of others around you, leave when you are not happy so you could be your best you. We are a dying nation because people in their horrible relationships, because people are stepping into work relationships, friendships, romantic relationships, business relationships, damaged, unhealed, and not knowing what to do. People are being selfish all across the board because they're hurting and they don't know what to do. Why not heal? Why not feel better? Why not live a more fulfilling life with somebody you care about? So you both have those experiences. So you could have kids who have those experiences, and they could have kids who have those experiences, and we could be happier and move in love how we're supposed to, how it started off with people caring about themselves and one another. And if you knew someone who didn't, guess what? You were there for them, loved on them until they could better love themselves. People started to get selfish, and you can't be selfish in relationships. Bottom line, being in a relationship is a selfless job because you're supposed to make sure you're okay, to be able to make sure that they're okay. They're supposed to make sure that they're okay, to make sure that you're okay, to make sure that their village is okay. But no, everyone is thinking about self, what the flesh wants, what the temptation wants, what the desires want. Forget the grace. Forget giving grace. Forget fighting temptation. Forget ethics, morals, values. That's what we've lost for one another, for ourselves. Respect. We're not respecting ourselves. We're not respecting each other. The sooner the better. The sooner we realize that we need each other, that we need ourselves, the better off we will be. People don't understand the spirituality of self, healing, relationships, life. The sun radiates off your skin different when you are moving in love. It absorbs into your skin different when you are moving in love. So again, if you aren't ready for that, go do the work. Go love on you and the ones around you. Until next time.